Hi everyone, Hoodie here, Geeky Hoodie, and today I'm doing my Super Soup. Got a couple of comic books. I kind of cheated today. I kind of just a little bit cheating. I know you guys don't mind, but I wanted to touch on a couple of the books that I really enjoy reading, and it's really a style of book. So that's what I want to talk about is different types of character handbooks. Now, you can find these in a lot of the comic book, even especially the independent comics. Marvel and DC had theirs. Marvel had their official handbook of the Marvel Universe. And then DC has their Who's Who comic book. I think it's actually called the Definitive Directory of the DC Universe. But they call it Who's Who. So, I've seen Image do some back when they had the Young Blood and Wildcats and stuff like that. So you'd get that kind of stuff. It was very popular back in the 80s and some in the 90s. And so I'm going to talk to you about the differences in these comic books. At least mainly just the Marvel and the DC. And then I may touch on some of the other stuff. So let's take a look. Now this is the very first Marvel Universe, official handbook of the Marvel Universe, January 1st, and I don't even know what year it is, but it's the #1 issue. What I love about these is I haven't done it. I've thought about doing it. It's getting a complete run because it looks like all of these covers, they all look like they're running in one direction. I like to stack them B, C, D, all across a wall, and so it looks like they're headed towards something. And so in each one of these, like here's the Abomination, and what it talks about is it'll talk about the real name of the person, legal status, first appearance, where you can find the actual first appearance of the character, a bit of their origin, like talk about their little history, how much they weigh, how much the height, unusual features, and then their powers. And then that's it. Just a picture of him and things of that sort. And then on the next page, Absorbing Man, and then you get El Aguila. I don't know how that is pronounced. Anyway, but with each one of these characters, you get all these different people. And what's great I love about these comic books is that you can read these stories like Anglar the Screamer. I don't think anyone's probably done this cosplay of Anglar the Screamer, or Anaconda. Anaconda don't want. Anyway. So, with that being said, this is a great resource. So if you're wanting to try to cosplay something that maybe people haven't seen before and something unique, these are great books to have. This right here is the #1 DC Who's Who comic book. And on here, the cover is, they're just basically just kind of hanging out in their own little stuff. What I liked about this one is that on each page, on each one, it has a table of contents right here on the front. So if I wanted to look up, let's look up Aaron, Lord of Atlantis, which I have a #1 comic of that. So let's go look up page 22. Oh, they have Atari Force in here. That's awesome. Anyway, so there you go. You got your Aaron, the Lord of Atlantis, and it talks once again, gives their name and first appearance, and then it talks about their history and the powers and any weapons they have. So, and it's a little bit dramatic, more dramatic artwork in these than simply in here. You have simply just a white background and the character. One of the things I did like about the first of the Marvel Universe ones, they gave, like, in the back, now this is the first one, they had like Avengers Mansion, they showed the whole layout of the actual mansion, but in the first ones, they actually showed alien races. So there's alien races that they discuss right here in the back. And then they also have an appendix of other A names that they didn't actually do, that they missed out, and what they usually fixed on the other ones. They have, on the Marvel Universe one, they have the deluxe. They even had ones that was cardboard, a 3-ring binder one. And then I think back in the 2000s they kind of brought this back, but it was a lot cleaner and not as many people. I mean, this was the attempt to really cover the whole Marvel comic book universe. So there's a lot of characters to go through. DC as well, they had lots and lots of volumes of these. And I like, the other thing I liked about the DC Who's Who, in the back of each one, it talks about different people. Like it says, Animal Man was seen in our last month's DC Presents. So they promote the comic books where you can find these characters in currently, versus Marvel just like, hey, here's the characters, here's what they do, blah blah, when they first seen. So Marvel Universe did it really well with just basically getting the information. But DC Comics really not only gave the information, but they also said where you can find some of these characters in the current print. So like, hey, you find a character named Orion right here. There's Orion in the very back. Well, he's in the Omega Men. So that allows you to go read them, and it even shows you a little clip, a black and white clip down here at the bottom of the Omega Men, and what it looks like, the comic book. So, that's the two different ones. I like the Marvel one a little bit better because, one, I'm a big Marvel guy. Two, it seems like they give more of the story. Like, they don't just kind of give a small blurb. They give the longer story. So one character may have 2 or 3 pages, versus only the main characters in DC, the Who's Who, really get more than 1 page. Ambush bug. Anyway. So there's that. Image did some, like I said, but mainly those were, when I saw those, one, I'm not a big Image guy, but two, they usually would have it was more art than it was actually information. So they give their name, what their powers are, blah, 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 kind of like they did in here. And that's it. It was a very short, sweet, you got a cool picture, here's who these people are. So, anyway, these are great resources. I even have Legions of the Superheroes. I have G.I. Joe did some of these, so you know which G.I. Joe characters are in the comics. That was done by Marvel. The Jedi, they have one for the different Jedi books. Matter of fact, hold on, let me show you this. Now, I know these are not comic books, but this Star Wars Essential Guide to Characters, and I know all this is not canon anymore, but there's characters in here that you probably have never ever heard of, and you could totally cosplay as well as one of my favorites is the Essential Guide to Droids. And oh my god, because I love droids. Oh my god, and I love to play them in the Star Wars role-playing game. Look at that guy. Isn't that crazy looking? Anyway, so get these books, check them out. I can spend hours and hours reading stuff, and I know way more origins of people than I really needed to know. So hopefully that helped you. Hopefully it gave you some encouragement. Check these out. Check your local comic book stores, see if they have them in stock. If not, I'm sure you can find them online. So keep on reading, guys. See ya. Bye.